2,000 miles away, always searching to find a way. Being with people but feeling alone, it makes me shiver to the bones. Wanting to work but not knowing what to do, it makes me feel rather blue. Blue is a color and also a feeling. It sometimes makes me want to hit the ceiling. For I am young, but I am old. Why must I always be so cold? Painless heart, made of steel. Oh, how I wish it wasn't real. For somewhere deep down I know I have feelings, but why is the well so deep? Forever coming up with empty buckets. Sometimes I just want to scream out, fuck it. But I won't give up, there must be a way, and now I have found someone to guide my way. One of these days or one of these nights, I'm going to win this devil's fight, for I am an angel deep down inside. But why must it always hide? For an angel never dies.
It's sad how people like myself get lost in society and become a statistic. I don't know what I want my story to be. I want it to be happy. The first part of my life was never happy. I destroyed hundreds of photos in my family. I've literally took them out of albums and ripped them. Because to me, they see this happy little girl smiling, but inside, it's just chaos.
The cycle is you end up being homeless either due to mental health, addictions, instability, and then you get housed, say, for like a month, and then you have a relapse or you have a mental health breakdown, you get evicted, you go back onto the streets, you start the drugs or in and out of hospitals, and then you go back to being housed, and then it's kind of the same cycle, and then lots of people just give up helping those kind of people because they seem unhousable, difficult to work with, or they end up in jail all the time.
I went down a dark road where I was selling drugs, prostituting, trying to find a place to sleep, somewhere to eat, and somewhere just to be safe.
At the age of 15, well actually earlier than that, I was a victim of sexual abuse from toddler stage. And that's why my innocence was stolen and corrupted. By the age of 15, I was already working for organized crime and doing things that I didn't want because I was already hooked on drugs. Like, believe it or not, when I was 15, I had these people, which I remain nameless, turn me out of these drugs, and they actually, with stereo, two different arms at the same time. I had MDA and speed in one arm, cocaine and heroin in the other. That was my first experience of doing drugs. Like, I could have died. Like, that's a lot of different dope going into a little girl's body, right? I was only a kid. I was 15. I was a baby.
I dread the shaving part, but that's what the genetics of the body I was born into have. I have to work around that somehow, so I go 7 layers of makeup before I go out every day. It gets costly on welfare, very costly.
When I married, I'm Mennonite, and I took my vows extremely seriously, and when it became obvious I had to get away from him because he stopped just beating me and abusing me in other ways as well, but he took his hand to my firstborn son. And by hitting him, because he got in the middle of mom and dad and pleading with dad to please don't hit mommy again. That haunts me to this day, that I waited that extra day that he ended up getting hit too.
My drug years had stemmed from being in the foster care system, being taken from my parents at the age of 13. But a lot of it is because you're hurting on the inside, you want to try to forget it, you want to try to numb it. And you talk and talk and talk to people about what's going on, and then it just comes to a point where talking doesn't help. And you want to numb it, you just want to not feel hurt.
If I did not find the release in my tattoos, I would not be here. My doctors really feel that 25 would have been my cutoff, and I would probably have cut my wrists because those individuals that find that for a release, if they found tattooing, they would still be here. It's the same endorphins, the same rush, the same release.
The struggle I have with my partner, he doesn't like me going to church. He doesn't like me doing ceremonies. He doesn't like me going to, because I change. I was in like healthy relationships groups. I was here, I was there. And I've been with my partner off and on almost 11 years, and I've been through hell and back with him.
I was clean for 7 whole years, and then unfortunately I became a victim of an attempted rape, and then 13 days later I was in a car accident. I was working in an office when this happened. Like, I changed my whole life around, right? And then a year later, the fellow that I was living with me killed himself in my apartment. I found him dead. He was 8 hours dead, and I still didn't break down and use again. It wasn't until I ended up moving in with another fellow, and he was diabetic, and one day he ended up going into a diabetic seizure rate, like he was going to go into a coma if I didn't give him his insulin. He couldn't do it. He needed me to help him. And I said, I can't do that. I'm afraid when I watch you do it, I know it's medicine, it doesn't bother me, but I'm afraid to hold that thing in my heart because I was a serious addict. He says, it's been 7 years, you're not going to do that. Addiction is so strong. 20 minutes later, after 7 years of being clean, 20 minutes later I was down scoring. That's the power of addiction, just because I had that stupid needle in my hand, to give him his insulin. Like, that's how bad the power of addiction can be, right?
I became kind of self-destructive. That's where my self-harm came in, but every time that something happened, I would do a cut. And the cuts would represent all of the different times where the going got so tough that I just didn't want to go. And one dream was struck, one dream was taken away.
After my suicide attempt in 2011, after I declared personal bankruptcy, I was going to lose my house. I lost the Harley I was working hard to keep, and I didn't know where exactly I was going to live, so I crawled up into my bathroom to check out. I had also burned a CD of music, and one song I had burned was from the forget the movie, Sound of Music? Edelweiss. Well, because my mother's parents came from Germany, so every time that song came around, I kept hearing this little small voice that said, it's not your time. It's not. You need to get out of the bathtub. So I did. Got the fresh air, because I was intending on going by asphyxiation. Didn't happen. I realized, you know what? These are just things. And there's so much more to life than just the fact that, this was my darkest time, but now, do I continue to be negative? What's that going to do for me?
I know through myself how I changed and how I progressed, and I know myself I will never go back to what I was. I know that I'm a stronger person now, and I can't allow, you definitely put that barrier, that wall. You don't go certain places.
Life has been good to me and it's been bad to me, but I keep going. Like, I just keep asking God for strength and to help me face each new day. And so far, He's been pretty good at making me be able to do that.
And I have to say positive because I'm still here. Because one of the sad things of the journey that I'm on, many people do commit suicide and sometimes are successful. I failed. That's one thing I can be very proud of, that I failed. I'm still here. I'm here to inspire.
Recovery makes sense because I think for the rest of our life on earth, we're trying to always be better than the day before. Try to be healthier than the day before. Always something in the future to strive for. So recovery is a verb, not a noun. It's not a place. It's an ongoing movement.
Just trying to be part of the solution, and for lack of better words, I don't want to be part of the problem anymore.
I plan on going back to school again, getting a job. I can't stand being on disability, It doesn't do anything for your pride, and plus I can't do it anymore. I want a life again.
I was the one that was always suppressed in my feelings. I wore the black, I wore the gray. I never wore a color. Pink? No. Through different agencies, I was able to find color. And color to me now is life. because there's no more shadow. There's no more hiding. It's more of a need than a want for this place.
Okay.
I think it's necessary in all walks of society for women to have this kind of outlet venue. Doesn't matter who you are or what you are. When you come in, you're the same.
I found this is a safe place to be, and I can, the staff and most of the people are wonderful here, and there's always something. And the staff here reach out to you, like if they know something's coming up and they think that you might be interested, they reach out. They say, hey, you know, this is happening. Would you like to be a part?
There are programs here that I find so liberating and keep me reaching up instead of bowing down. We have art therapy, art classes, self-compassion group. There's a hot meal at lunch every day. A lot of women come specifically and only for that because that's their only meal of the day.
One of the best memories I have when I came in is Cass came up to me and says, if anyone gives you any trouble here, you have them talk to me. We are an all-inclusive space. You are a woman, you identify as woman, we accept you as woman here.
The sisterhood here is very strong. Like it's really nice. People share their stories and their feelings and their thoughts about things. We help each other out, you know, with what knowledge we have. Like one person knows something that the other person doesn't know. When we talk about things, we share and we find out solutions for everything, right? You know, or advice that we might not have otherwise thought of, right? But it's this is a good place. They have crafts. They have all kinds of things that you can do if you want to be a woman again.
Piece of knowledge. It's been 7 months since I was in a grocery store. I don't have the funds to buy groceries. Without this place, I go hungry. I go to the food banks and stuff too, but without this place, I would go hungry. It's this place that supports me 150%. I could not see myself without this whole house, the people, the staff, the services.
Dreams I can't remember, yet I know I have. Tugged by memories of age 5, emerge as if he's still alive. On the other side of yesterday, here grows my heart and my soul. Struggles are now far less painful. I have found my voice and I sing praise for the blessings God gave. It is truth and hope which now takes hold. My small and humble home has also grown, sharing life with sisters I may have never known. Trust allows my scars to be shown, and now each day the load I carry feels like less. My road has been cleared for a life of happiness.